Welcome back. You're watching Goeiemôre, good morning. The internet brings incredible opportunities. It also comes with dangers we've never seen before. Guardians of the Net is a new awareness initiative designed to help parents, teachers, and children better understand the risks of social media and the online world. I'm joined today by Jess Erasmus, the driving force behind this initiative. Jess, warm welcome to you to Goeiemôre, good morning. It's so lovely to have you.
Thanks.
Can we start off with what exactly is Guardians of the Net?
Okay, so Guardians of the Net is the initiative that I started that is to protect our children from the digital dangers of online and social media. So because I'm in that space, I've got a marketing agency. I see how fast it's evolving and what the dangers are. And it originated from the fact that I realized that it's not that parents don't care, it's that they're not aware enough of what the dangers are. So the idea is to help them understand it, but in a way that resonates with our kids, making them feel like they almost become superheroes of the net.
So you actually designed all of these characters from scratch. Can you tell us a bit about them?
Yes. So my designer designed them. I've got an amazing graphic designer, Liane, but my son helped me to figure out what characters need to have what names, how they need to look. He's the one that told me that the little robot needs to be in actual pixels, so it can't just be an image. And so we've made them so that they're relatable to every kid. So there's Shield Girl, there's Captain Block, there's Nova Scout. So everyone's got a role, and it helps the children relate to that.
And everybody's got a role, everybody's got a superpower, but it's also kind of really relevant and apt to the message that you're trying to bring across.
Yes.
What are some of the dangers that kids are facing on social media?
There's a lot. But the biggest ones at the moment, obviously cyberbullying is a big thing. I think something that I've picked up with tweens especially is sextortion and extortion. Also, oversharing private information, which can lead to kidnapping and human trafficking. So there's a lot of dangers.
How have things like AI and deep fakes actually made the risk of any kind of cyber stalking and internet social media crime even higher?
It plays a massive role. AI has almost made it sophisticated. It's these predators and people go online and they can take pictures of your kids now, transform it through AI into something that is something they can send on to these syndicates where child pornography is being spread. They can use it to extort your children and say to them, if you don't do this and this, I'm going to forward this to your family and your friends and your school, even if it isn't real.
Yes.
And younger kids between the ages of 8 and 12, they don't realize. They get frightened and then they do what these people want.
It's absolutely, as a parent, I think my mind is blown by the amount of danger that there is out there. And if you look at the issue of AI and deep fakes, the kids don't know that it's not real.
Yes.
Like if someone creates a deep fake profile and they are pretending to be a 13-year-old talking to another 13-year-old, but it's a 40-year-old man in America.
They don't know.
They don't know.
No, they don't know. So their frontal lobes for kids are not fully developed yet to understand impulse control, risk management, knowing when something is real and when it isn't, when someone really is a friend and when it isn't. So that's why a lot of these apps have age restrictions on them for a reason.
Yeah.
But still, I see so many kids that are on phones and on social media apps, and they are way under the recommended age for that app.
I'm so glad that you brought up the question of apps. Are there certain apps that are actually unknowingly more dangerous to kids than others?
Yes, definitely. So one of the main ones, which I think always shocks everyone, is WhatsApp. WhatsApp is probably the biggest platform. So normally it's the platform in between. They would start on platforms like Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Kids, even some of the gaming platforms like Roblox, Fortnite. Those are the platforms that have private messaging rooms. They've got disappearing messages on some of them. So these are an entry point for those predators to get in and to reach these kids. And then they're taken onto platforms once they give their private information out, like WhatsApp, when they then extort them on there.
Should parents be relying on parental controls, or is there a better way to approach things in terms of online safety?
So parental controls help, but nothing replaces communication.
Yeah.
So it's having those conversations with your kids, saying to them that these are the dangers that you need to look out for. These are red flags, and being able to make them feel like they can trust you. To share. If someone, like my son yesterday came in, and he loves gaming, but he came in and he said, "Mom, someone sent me a message." And we've got that relationship that if it happens, he comes to me. I think that's the most important thing. But apps are important. There are amazing apps out there. There's apps like Bark, Live 360, Google Family Link that you can put onto the phones and make sure that your devices are on a shared space. And something like Bark is really great because it monitors and tracks conversations that your kids have on all of these platforms. And if something pops up that's, a little bit of a red flag, it alerts you. So definitely I would say both of those in conjunction is the best.
Do you know what is so important, and what you've just said is the actual human communication, that we need to set up a feeling that our kids can come to us.
Yes.
And I think it's so actually quite ironic that it's the human face-to-face communication that's going to make us manage these online conversations so much better with our children.
Exactly. It's almost like kids, to me, it feels like kids are overprotected in the real world and underprotected in the digital world, because it's a space far away from the parents that even, it's not that the parents don't care, it's that they're not aware.
Yeah.
So for them, most of the parents would just say, instead of saying something like, "Why are you on your phone?" Rather translate that into something like, "What's the weirdest thing that you saw today on, on your device?" So making them feel comfortable about these conversations. It's not a distant world that only they live in.
How do parents go about easing their kids into using social media and all of these apps?
It's gradual. It's like doing anything. When you start to learn how to swim, you're not just going to throw them into the pool and let them swim. It's the same with the digital world. You need to guide them, have strict privacy settings on there. Start them with a lot of strict regulations, limited times on the phone, and then guide them slowly as you educate them into using it more often, being as they grow older as well. It's really a step-by-step process over a period of time. It's the best.
And then also, obviously, when they do get older, you kind of have to walk that very fine line between using your apps and using your role as a parent to guide them without them feeling like they're being spied on all the time.
Yeah. So you have to make sure that they feel safe and that it's a trusted environment for both of you, because if, like I said, if you're going to make them feel like it's the world that they live in and it's not something that you are part of, then they start trying to handle these things on their own. And it's really just, the biggest thing is educating them. And that's what I'm trying to do through Guardians of the Net, is educating.
What are some of the red flags that parents should be on the lookout for in terms of their kids' online presence?
Yeah, so, I mean, red flags especially, let's start with kids. So for kids, it's things like people asking for private information. That's the biggest thing. Never, ever give out private information. Also being on these apps that have disappearing messages and have private chat rooms, to make sure, like, if your kid is playing Roblox, don't let them play on open servers. Let it rather be a private server where the settings are set to not anyone can contact your kid. So it's really a combination between kids and parents being on it and making sure that they are in that safe environment.
How can I, as a parent, recognize when an online conversation has gone a bit off track, especially if my kid is not necessarily sharing that with me?
Yes, yeah. So unfortunately, the only way of doing that is through an app where it is being monitored, or where your child actually just comes to you. That's the only ways that we can really know. And if they don't feel safe in coming to you, then, and you don't have these monitoring apps, that's when they are in a space where it's a danger zone or a red flag area. And it just comes back to it all the time for me, Roz. It really is making sure that you understand the world that they live in and making sure that they understand what the red flags are.
So those are basically the golden rules, is to keep the forum of communication face to face, keep that open, understand what the world is that they are in, and they must also understand where you are coming from as a parent.
Yes, because it's not going to disappear. It's not something that you can keep them from. It is going to be the world that they live in, and it's the world that we live in now. And if you're going to almost alienate them from it, they're going to rebel against that and do it behind your back. Where if you feel like it's an open conversation, we both know what the dangers are, you are allowed to do it, but within the guidelines, have a little contract with them the first time when they get a phone or something, make it something that's a transactional contract. You're getting a phone, but there's rules around it. It's not a private space. It is something that I need to have your passwords, it's an open conversation and contract between us.
Jess, this is an incredible resource, and I'm sure our viewers want to know how they can get in touch, how can they get hold of all of this information, where can people get that
So
from?
the website is called guardiansofthenet.co.za, and what we've done a guide for the kids, we've done a guide for parents, and we've done a guide for teachers. So you can go download it for free. We're not asking for any information. It literally is there for free to download so that we can educate.
Jess, it's been so lovely having you. It's been quite eye-opening for me as well as a parent. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
That's Jess Erasmus from Guardians of the Net. If you've ever been curious about how meteorologists predict the weather, stay tuned because Elsa visits the South African Weather Service to find out right after this.